Okay, welcome back to another episode, 3rd and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you an NFL pick and prediction video. That's going to be week 4. So I did week 1, only did 2 games, went 0-2, and thought to myself, you know what, let me let the NFL settle, right? Last season, I started out terrible. I finished 54% ATS accuracy, but I started off 6-16, right? So I had to battle back. I said, let me let the NFL settle. Now it's week 4. Let me come back to it, and now let's start making weekly picks and predictions. So we're going to go with 5 games in this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start things off with the Washington Commanders visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons 2-point favorite in this game. Story in this game, Commanders, no Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin, no Noah Brown. So when you're talking about the Commanders and what they're going to have offensively passing the ball, it's going to be Marcus Mariota throwing to Deebo Samuel and maybe Luke McCaffrey. You got Zach Ertz at tight end too, going against the number 1 ranked 3 games into the season, but the number 1 ranked pass defense in the league in terms of yards per attempt. So it's gonna be a tall task for Marcus Mariota to be able to contend with that secondary, right? For the Falcons, it's all about the bounce back. You got the embarrassing loss of Carolina. You lose 30-0. I think they didn't make it past the 30-yard line. I heard that right. They didn't make it past the 30-yard line that whole game. Michael Penix looked terrible. It looked like they should put Kirk Cousins in the game, truth be told. Can they bounce back? Can Bijan Robinson help carry Michael Penix and the rest of the offense in this one to the finish line? Bijan's killing. He's averaging 5.1 yards a carry. The Commanders' rush defense, 12th in the league. Not bad, but Bijan should be able to move the ball on the ground in this one and make some plays. So that's going to be, I think, going to be the deciding factor in whether or not Atlanta is going to win this game. Is can Bijan run the ball against the Commanders' defense? And another story to note in this one is Raheem Morris. All right, you lose to Carolina 30-0 last week. That looks bad. Now you're hosting Dan Quinn, who was fired from Atlanta, I think, 5 years ago. If Dan Quinn comes into Atlanta and wins with Marcus Mariota and no Terry McLaurin out there, man, that's a bad look for Raheem Morris. So he needs this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Atlanta. I'm going to lay the 2. I do think they're gonna bounce back. I don't think they can look worse than what they did last week, and they're going against a backup, some backups in some key positions for the Commanders in this one. So go ahead and give me Atlanta laying the 2. All right, moving on to the next game. We got the Chargers visiting the Giants. The Chargers, 6-point favorites in this game. Storyline in this one is the Giants have benched Russell Wilson. I don't know if that was the smartest idea, but you draft Jackson Dart in the first round for a reason. So I guess they figure sooner rather than later, right? So Jackson Dart's going to making his first start, but you're making your first start against maybe the best defense in the NFL. Derwin James and the rest of that secondary got that secondary humming right now, 2nd in the league. Rush defense, 8th in the league. Everywhere Jim Harbaugh coaches, they always seem to have a really good defense. You ever notice that? This year is no different right now for the Chargers. So Jackson Dart going up against that defense. And then on the flip side of that, he's going to have to keep pace with Justin Herbert's doing. He's leading the NFL right now with 286 yards passing per game, looking like an MVP candidate. And they're going against a Giants defense that they're not going to really be able to get to him and get him off his rhythm. Giants, the pass rush is supposed to be the strength of the team. They were strength last season. You draft Abdul Carter, you think, okay, it's still going to be a strength. 27th in the league right now in pressure rate, so it's not working for them. So I think Justin Herbert, he's going to have time to throw the ball. He's going to have time to find, Quentin Johnson, the revival of Quentin Johnson down the field. Jackson's ought to be able to keep pace with that. That's going to be tough. So go ahead and give me the Chargers in this one. I'm going to lay the 6 points. All right, moving on to the next pick. It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles, 3-point favorite in this one. I think it's actually 3.5, but I'm doing 3. You're not catching me with a hook in this one. Probably already know where I'm leaning. So in this one, is all about red zone for me. Eagles, 1st in the league right now, red zone rate. 100% actually is their red zone touchdown rate. Obviously, that's not going to last forever, but still, that's pretty impressive after 3 weeks. Tampa Bay, 25th in the NFL in red zone rate. They're settling for field goals. So when this is a game where I think you're going to see the Eagles getting touchdowns, Bucks getting field goals. The Bucks are going to have no Mike Evans in this one. Now, they're supposed to be the return of Chris Godwin, so that's going to help wash that out. But Baker Mayfield throwing the ball without Mike Evans against a secondary that's still strong, 4th in the league in yards per attempt, and then trying to score touchdowns against that team in the red zone, that's going to be hard pressed. These are the cardiac kids with the Bucks right now. They keep making comebacks in the fourth quarter and winning games. Sooner or later, you expect them to fall completely apart and maybe get smacked in a game. This might be that game. As far as Baker Mayfield being able to get balanced, though, to be able to prevent that from happening, you need a running game, right? Bucky Irving, 3.1 yards per carry, man. Is Liam Cohen going off to be the Jags head coach? Is that affecting him? Is there a time that they need to get Rachaad White more carries? Because if you notice, when Rachaad White's in the game, he's running the ball better than Bucky. So I don't know if that's a question that needs to be asked and answered for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their running game. But when you're winning games late, people aren't asking questions. So, but anyways, in this one, like I said, I think the Eagles are scoring touchdowns. I think the Bucks are kicking field goals, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game. Go ahead and give me Philly. I'm going to lay the 3 on the road. All right, moving on to the next game. We've got the Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, patchwork team. Now they lose Nick Bosa for the year. If you look at the 49ers pressure rate this season, they were 30th with Bosa. So they're 30th in the league with Bosa. Now you lose him. It's going to really impact that pass rush. You're going against Trevor Lawrence, who, in my opinion, kind of struggling. 5.9 yards per attempt. It's very bad, but it's not all his fault. Receivers aren't really helping him out there. But now you lose Bosa. It's going to be a little easier for Lawrence. As far as the passing game goes, like I said, he's struggling. He's going against the fourth ranked pass defense in the league. And then on the flip side of that, Brock Purdy is making his return, but he's going against the third-ranked pass defense in the league. So when I'm looking at this game, I see a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a defensive game in San Fran. And the difference for me is going to be, can Etienne get off? Travis Etienne is cooking right now, averaging 90 yards rushing per game. Can the 49ers stop him? If they can stop him, that's their opportunity to win the game. But if they can't, I don't really see the 49ers being able to. I don't know if the 49ers are going to win this game or not, but I certainly don't see them being able to cover if they can't stop ATN in the ground game, because offensively, the Niners are just patchwork right now. And for that reason, I'm going to take the Jags, and I'm going to take the plus 3.5 in a defensive game where I think points are going to be at a premium. If you're going to give me 3.5, I'm going to go ahead and take it. All right, and finally, the final game. The Packers on Sunday Night Football visiting the Dallas Cowboys. It's the return of Micah Parsons on primetime television. If you guys have been living under a rock, Micah Parsons got traded from Dallas in the offseason to Green Bay. Micah's been killing with Green Bay. Now he comes back to Dallas. I don't know if it's going to be a revenge game for him, because I don't know if he wanted out of Dallas or not, But I know he's going to be trying to make a statement. He's probably going to try to make that statement up top to Jerry Jones. And then when he's getting after Dak Prescott, he's going to be getting after Dak Prescott, who doesn't have CeeDee Lamb outside to throw the ball to. He also doesn't have his first-round rookie, Tyler Booker, who's been playing well as a rookie on the inside. He doesn't have him blocking for him. So already going to be shorthanded. The Cowboys are going to be shorthanded offensively. And then you look at the flip side of that. Can they keep pace with the Packers offense? They're going to score. Packers got embarrassed losing to the damn Browns last week. What a joke that was. There's no way that Packers team that you saw last week that was lethargic and slow moving that's the team that you're going to see in Dallas on Sunday night. You got Jordan Love, 8.5 yards per attempt, early on MVP candidate, going against the worst pass defense in the NFL, 32nd in the league. This is how bad the Cowboys pass defense is. They're giving up 9.8 yards per attempt. 31st is the Dolphins. They're at 8.9. So it's a wide gap. So the Cowboys are just that bad. And the talent of the Dallas Cowboys matches stats. They're not talented back there. So Jordan Love should go off in this game. I'm expecting him to piece up that secondary all game long for 60 minutes. On the flip side of that, Dak, he's going to be harassed by Micah, right? And then he's got to go against one of the top pass defenses in the league. I don't know why that says first. I should say second. But one of the top pass defenses in the league. And then is he going to have any balance? Javonte Williams has actually been playing pretty well. I think he's averaging about 75 yards rushing per game this season. But the Packers are third in the league right now in stopping the run. So I don't know if the Cowboys are going to get any kind of balance. I could see Dak trying anything desperate to keep pace with the Packers. I think the Packers might be scoring on every drive, at least for the first 5 or 6 drives of this game. I'm expecting this to be an absolute blowout. 6.5 to me looks like a gift. That's crazy to me. I think the Packers are going to smoke this team, probably win by 3 touchdowns. So go ahead and give me Green Bay, and I'm going to lay the 6.5. But anyways, that wraps it up If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And you're going to see more NFL pick and prediction videos going forward. Take care.